You know, most people see the Grand Canyon. They walk up to the edge, snap a picture, and feel that sense of awe. But a few people, they don't just see it, they endure it. They go down into it and climb back out, turning a beautiful picture into a life-changing experience. So, let's get into what it really means to earn that view.
Yeah, awe-inspiring, challenging, exhausting, unforgettable. I mean, those words from fellow hikers really hit the nail on the head, right? This isn't just a casual stroll. It's a full-on test of your physical and mental limits that pushes you right to the edge. And as we're going to see, it's inside that challenge where the real reward is hiding.
So what's the real difference between just standing at the railing and standing in that exact same spot when your legs have carried you a vertical mile down and back up again? Well, it's the difference between looking at something amazing and actually becoming a part of it. And that's the journey we're exploring today.
All right, let's begin where most people do, the South Rim. From up here, the canyon is just this silent, sprawling masterpiece. Honestly, the scale is so huge, your brain can barely process what it's seeing. It looks like a painting, almost fake. It's hard to believe it's a real place you can actually step into.
And this is where the canyon plays this fascinating little mind game on you. See, unlike climbing a mountain where the hard part is first, here, the whole journey kicks off with the easy part, going downhill. Gravity's your best friend, your legs are totally fresh, every step feels pretty much effortless. But it's a trick, a beautiful deception that saves the real test for the very, very end.
Just to try and wrap your head around the sheer scale, look at this number. The canyon snakes for 277 miles. From the rim, you can't even see the beginning or the end. You are literally just staring into a tiny slice of its true size.
And then you've got the depth. We're talking more than a vertical mile. That's over 5,000 feet from where you're standing down to the Colorado River. The perspective totally messes with your head. You can point to a spot that looks like it's maybe an hour away, but in reality, that could easily take you 5 hours to reach.
And this brings us to the actual numbers for the Bright Angel Trail. You're going to descend 4,380 feet. That's a real concrete number for what feels like an impossible depth. It is a long, long way down. And with every single foot you drop, the physical reality of that number really starts to sink in.
And just like that, the whole idea of scale stops being an idea and becomes a physical feeling. You can feel the air getting warmer, the temperature shifting, and your body feels that constant, relentless pull of gravity with every step.
And there's some cool science behind what you're feeling. It's called adiabatic heating. Basically, as you go down, the air pressure increases. It compresses the air, and that releases heat. The canyon basically becomes a giant heat trap, creating its own little weather system down at the bottom.
And here's what that looks like in the real world. You could start your hike needing a jacket when it's a chilly 41 degrees. And by the time you reach the bottom, it could be nearly 100 degrees, maybe even more. That 50-plus degree swing is a massive shock to the system.
I love this way of putting it. The descent might feel easy, but it's a constant pounding force on your knees, your ankles, your toes. You're basically pre-tiring the very muscles you're going to desperately need for the climb out. Every step down is a loan you'll have to repay later with some serious interest.
So this map kind of shows you that descent. You pass these landmarks that sound close, but each one marks a huge drop in elevation. It's just a steady plunge, mile after mile, deeper and deeper into the earth, until you finally start to hear the sound of the canyon's heart.
Okay, reaching the Colorado River? Wow, it feels like a massive achievement. The sound of the water is such a relief after the quiet of the trail. But this is not the finish line. In fact, this is the most critical turning point of the entire hike. This is the crucial moment. You're standing at the bottom, but you are only halfway done. You turn around, look all the way back up at the rim you just came from, and the full weight of what you still have to do just settles in. It is a huge moment of realization and, for a lot of people, a little bit of dread.
And this says it all, doesn't it? It's the simple, brutal physics of the Grand Canyon. There's no elevator, no shortcut out. The only way is up, using the same legs that are already screaming from the 8 miles of downhill you just put them through.
So now the real battle begins. The ascent is a completely different beast. It is a slow, grinding fight against everything the canyon can throw at you. Gravity, the intense heat radiating off the rocks, and your own exhaustion that's just building and building.
I mean, just look at this comparison. On the way down, gravity's helping you out. On the way up, it's your worst enemy. Your legs were fresh, now they're toast. You felt confident, now you're just mentally drained. And get this, it can actually take longer to climb out than it did to go down, over the same exact ground. Gravity is no longer your friend.
The climb out is like a series of boss battles in a video game. First up, you have the Devil's Corkscrew. And yeah, it's aptly named. Then you get a little bit of a break at Havasu Gardens, your last chance for shade. And then you face the final boss, the last 3 miles of relentless switchbacks that feel like they are never going to end.
This quote just perfectly captures that final stretch. It's where your resolve is truly tested. You can actually see the rim. It looks so close. But the trail just keeps winding back and forth, and every single step takes a monumental effort. It's a physical and a psychological wall you just have to break through.
And then, somehow, you're back. You take that last step up onto the rim, right back where you started all those hours ago. The view hasn't changed one bit, but you have changed. Profoundly. This right here is the payoff. You're not just looking at a pretty picture anymore. You're looking at a memory that is burned into your muscles. You understand its scale not because you read a sign, but because you felt every single foot of it in your bones. The canyon is no longer just a place over there. It's a part of your story now.
And that's really the ultimate transformation. That view is now layered with your own effort, your own sweat, and your own personal triumph. You earned it. Every crack and every crevice has a meaning it just didn't have before. You're seeing it with brand new eyes.
In the end, what the canyon really teaches us is that the most rewarding experiences are almost never the easy ones. The greatest beauty so often lies on the other side of the greatest challenge. And that kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? What difficult journey in your own life might lead to a perspective you can't even imagine right now?